All right, what's up, guys? Here I am with another video on a trade recap that I did this morning. I took 3 trades. I took 2 losses and 1 win. Although I took 2 losses, that 1 win still allowed me to stay profitable at the end of the day. And the reason for that was because my risk to reward is always on point, making sure that I risk a little bit, but make a lot of it. So I'm going to show you guys a little bit on how that worked. And I'm going to show you guys the first trade that I took here was on Apple. Apple trade here. Pre-market analysis, I mark my pre-market highs and I mark my pre-market lows. So what do I wait for? I wait for a break above pre-market high. I wait for a retest of pre-market high or the VWAP for continuation to the upside. Or I wait a break below pre-market low, wait for the retest or the VWAP below pre-market low, continue to the downside. So today we saw a nice volume at opening of the market, launched the first 5-minute candles all the way to the upside. It rejected this 202, 202.50 zone, came back down. But with all this volume that was coming in, I had a feeling that we could possibly come back to retest that pre-market high and continue the trend to the upside. Excuse me. So that's exactly what I did. I waited for the retest. I saw the wicks. I saw that it was bouncing off in this area and I entered my calls, meaning I entered my position to the upside. My first profit target would be intraday high, which is here at 202.70. My stop loss would be a break back under pre-market high and a closure of the 5-minute candle under pre-market high. Unfortunately, that's exactly what happened. We did get a little mini pump back to the upside and then rejected, came back down inside pre-market high, and I took my loss. And that was that for Apple. So Tesla, same thing. Waited for the break of either pre-market high, right? Pre-market high all the way up there, or the break under pre-market low. So I wait for a 5-minute close, and that's exactly what we get. We get a 5-minute close below pre-market high, pre-market low, sorry. We come back up and we are rejecting the pre-market low zone. We are rejecting. There was just so many wicks going on here in this area. It was just bouncing, bouncing, bouncing. It would even come all the way back down low, came down to this zone here, rejected again, and came back up, came back up. But as soon as I saw the wicks here at the pre-market low, I entered my position when as it was coming back down. So that's why I put my take profit down here and my stop loss back above pre-market pre-market low. So as it was wicking back down, I entered my position, came back down. I was in profit. I was in profit at this time, but it rejected again real quickly. Volume started picking up and we came back and closed back inside the pre-market low. And that's exactly where I took my stop loss right away. Didn't hesitate. I took my loss. And so why were my profit targets all the way down to here? Well, first, we do have this zone here. I should have trimmed as soon as I got to this zone. We go to the hourly time frame. We go to the 1 hour time frame. I really anticipated this trade to continue all the way down, like all the way down to the zone here at the 347, 350 zone. We could have had a huge red candle. If we go to the 30-minute time frame, you can see that there are more zones that I marked, right? So there are wicks here on the previous day, and then there's a rip here on the previous day as well. So I marked those two zones as my profit targets. So I would possibly take it down to here, which, as you can see on this day, it actually came and hit all of my targets. It just took a little bit of time. So if we go to the 5-minute time frame, we came back into the pre-market low zone and I opted out because it continued to the upside. This trade could have literally just climbed all the way back up, right? So what do? We just cut our losses and keep it short. But as you can see, as time went by throughout the day, this trade just kept rejecting this 360, 350, 364 zone, dumped back to the downside and hit all my profit targets, my first zone here and my second zone here. Hit all targets, but it is what it is. We cut our ties short, and that was the end of Tesla for me. But I was also watching one more trade, one more company, MSTR. This trade right here was just perfectly set up. It was perfectly, like, everything was set up perfectly for the trade, which pre-market low, broke under pre-market low. We had a 5-minute close, came back to retest. We entered on the wick of pre-market low. So this is our pre-market low here. We entered at the wick here, and we just let it sit. I put my stop loss just a bit above, back into the zone, putting it into a 1-to-4 ratio. That's a perfect setup. So we entered our position and we wrote it down. I did trim my first position here at 1-to-2. Right, it was a low, the intraday low. I trimmed my position here, and then I continued waiting patiently for the rest of my contracts to play out. And so we wrote it down. It consolidated just a tad bit, so we had to be a little patient on this trade because there was a little bit of consolidation and a lot of wicks going on. But as you can see, we stayed below the EMAs. If I move this over, the 9 EMA, this is the green line right here. We stayed below it. We never broke above it. We never closed above it. So I'm holding position. We are still under pre-market low. My stop loss is still back at that high over here at 365.80. Held my position. Wrote it down, and we took our last profit take here at the $360.20 zone. Look at that pump back up. We had one more contract, which I was like, okay, I'm going to hold it. I'm going to hold this last contract to see if it continues to the downside. Maybe we can hit a lower zone. And I put my stop here at break. Well, not break even, but I put my stop above 363. If it would have get above 363, then that's where I would take, my profit on my last contract. And that's exactly what it did. It just came back up and it wicked it, and it did an automatic sell. And I took my last contract dub here, but look, it continued to dump, and we ended up touching that 359 to 358.50 zone. Beautiful trade, but this risk to reward here, it was a 1-to-4, 1-to-5. This risk reward put me back up into position where I ended green for the day and ended up with a $480 green day. So I was down about $160, $180 in the beginning with my first two trades because I cut them real short. So I kept my losses small, but then I took a big win on my third trade. And that's what concluded for my day. I get off the charts and I'm done for the day. If I don't see any more setups, I don't continue to trade. And I ended up green. So big discipline on that I've learned throughout the years of taking so many losses, of trying so many different strategies. And this strategy was just the one that works best for me because it keeps my risk to reward intact, my risk small and my reward big. So that's the trades that I took this morning. So Apple took a small stop loss, got out right away. Tesla, same thing. Came back into the zone, stopped out right away. And MSTR, we rolled this thing all the way down for a 1-to-4. So perfect setup, perfect day. And we just continue learning and continue growing. So if you guys learned something new here, click the like button. Don't forget to subscribe and show some love. But this is the break and retest strategy of the pre-market high. or pre-market low zones. So thank you guys for watching, and I love guys. See you guys soon.